I always had sheep. The first sheep I had in my life was given to me. A wee pet lamb of a man in Fermanagh. We lived in Leitrim, and he gave me this pet lamb, and he lived, and he was a pet, and that was the start of my career. There's a lot of changes in my life. One time, when I was a boy, the sheep was always kept on the mount. Today, there is no value left on the mount. It's all different breeds of sheep, and they need grass, not hemp. Hardest time is the spring. Ewes lambing, lambs dying, and the odd ewes dying. You can't this the 4 seasons in the spring. You can have snow, you can have heat, and you have wind, and everything affects the sheep. But the sheep knows themselves that they have to go to a shelter. However they can know, they look after themselves and go into shelter. In snow doesn't do sheep much harm when it's not too heavy. Snow is warm and the sheep walks away through it. The flock is 180 or around that. But you could never have the same amount going out of the field, then they come back. But something will happen someplace. The Texas are good sheep. They have good milk and they're great mothers. The horned ewe is a different sheep because she comes bred for the mountain, and they can live on it as well. They don't lamb early, they go end of April or the beginning of May in a lot of places. But that's just for there's no grass, and they walk away, walking maybe for miles and walking back, looking for grass. And if there was a neighbour man with a green field, they'd be looking into it too. The ground is different than it was 20 years ago. There seems to be twice the rain. The amount of sheep on land, it ploughs it and it cuts away the grass on the sheep. The ground gets very bare. But there's ways round it. If you want to do it, the shed, and have the shed in early in January, and there is some grass then to allow the sheep in the end of March, and that works well. It saves money, and you haven't to give them as much meal either. When the wind in good form, they'll come out in good form. Every farmer knows his own sheep. Every ewe knows where they are and who owns them. They'd always come back. Farming is nature and the love of land and the love of being working on the land. Even though we do that, we don't get paid for it. It's what you sell, and you hope to have something for doing it. Some people doesn't leave no value on their time or listening or to know what is going on with you. This last 3 years or 4 years, we are feeding filling the sheep instead of the sheep filling our pockets. When I was a boy, going back to where I was in Kilty, if you wanted to kill a lamb for the house, you go to the slaughterhouse and get them done up there. There's none of that doing it at all now. Everyone goes to the butcher. Nobody wants to know where the lamb come from or anything. And that's a very big change too. The first lamb I bought was £2. £2 was a lot of money that time. It's much. You'd be a long time getting that kind of money that time. But sheep was, I suppose, 6 times more that time in value than they are today. It takes good sheep now is about 60 or 65 euros. They're bringing sheep in from New Zealand. They can big flocks, and that many sheep, they can have them twice a year in places. So we're on the downhill all the time. I've learned a lot from farming. Nature and how to try to keep them alive. You'd be very happy and you'd thank God for it. And it's not for the price of the lamb, or it's not for the greed or anything like that. It's just nature. It's everyone is different. Everyone can tell his own story and how he do it, or anybody else does it. But gradually, when we get older, we know more, and it's a lovely life. A lot of people doesn't like sheep because there's too much work with them. But I think I like sheep, and I suppose I will while I live.